Hi, and welcome to another exciting show of For Art's Sake. Needless to say that I'm so excited and thrilled to honor the presence of our new guest, Mr. Lawrence V. White. He is a tremendous bass player, phenomenal artist, and is also a musical director. And I want to have the chance to show you his work on this show. So let's just watch who Lawrence White is. The one and only Lawrence V. White. Beyond Lawrence's charismatic smile and stylish personality, you have a hard-throbbing bass player and a man of leadership as an accomplished musical director. He's an artist to have an eye on as he thrives with his rhythmical and harmonic playing. He's a lover of all music and masterfully performs on almost all genres of music, from rock to soul, funk to jazz. His playing is nothing less than dynamic, smooth, and groovy. He's with no doubt the backbone of the band when he plays. His playing is on the pocket. His first EP titled Run for Cover features many artists and is scheduled to release soon. His soulful energy in the songs Ain't Nobody and Say Something will take you into a musical journey of bliss. He's played with different artists like DMC, Darren the Rebel Monks, Sandoval Band, the Ray of Hope Project, David Davis, and Purplicious, among many others. His musical achievements are plenty, and they continue to grow through a network of fans that follow his authentic style and flow. Lawrence plays music with passion, love, and honesty, nourishing the soul of those that come across the sound of his bass. Lawrence, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So tell us about you, your childhood. How did you begin to be interested in playing the bass?
That's a good question. So I would say as a child growing up, one of the pictures that you showed in the intro there is kind of me just being in front of a stereo. And honestly, that's kind of where I spend a lot of my time. When my father used to pretty much just put me in front of a stereo, headphones on, any of his records that he had there. I listened to a lot of like Earth, Wind and Fire growing up, Stevie Wonder, things like that. That was my first introduction into it. And then from there, past about maybe 1 or 2, 3 years old, just getting into different instruments in church. Growing up in my grandfather's church, there was always some type of instrument around, maybe like piano or organ or drums, things like that.
So your childhood was filled of music.
Yeah, definitely. I would say my aunt, she's actually a pianist and writer and artist as well. And she always, I think she kind of knew early on that there was something that I wanted to play. We were just trying to figure out which one it was.
You started playing the drums with your grandfather. He was the one who introduced you to the drums?
Right. So my grandfather is a bishop and a pastor down in New Haven. My grandmother, God bless her soul, she passed about a couple months ago in March. And one of my fondest memories is just sitting next to her as she sang in church, and she actually played the drums. We had a very, very small church, so she played the drums, and one day I was mimicking her because she was doing it wrong in my mind. So she said, well, why don't you go do it? And at the time, I was about 5 years old, and from that point, just continued on.
So from very early on, your parents realized that you had a talent, that you had a gift.
Yes.
And I believe they supported you throughout your journey. How was that? How did they did that?
Yeah, definitely. From there, I know they started to kind of figure out what I was going to play. And of course, the motivation was, how would it fit into church? So I started with piano lessons very early on, probably in between about 5 and 7 years old. From there, in 5th grade, I started to play sax. That was kind of my mom's influence. She loved sax. So I started to play sax from about 5th through 9th grade. And then from there, pretty much still drums and sax here and there. But then when my freshman year of college, senior year of high school, that's when I started playing bass.
Wow. Yeah. And what about in school? Did you belong to any musical programs? What was the influence that you had at school?
That is actually one of my passions. I know kind of growing up, as I started to graduate, I started to see music in school start to phase out. That was kind of what taught me theory. So learning how to play the sax in school was where I got my base for theory and learning how to read music, things like that. So I was in band, marching band throughout some high school and middle school. So that really helped kind of get that discipline.
How many instruments you play?
I would say it's probably somewhere around about 8. If I had to name some of them off the top of my head, bass is the primary. I would say drums. I play a little bit of keyboards. So, that can go into the organ or piano. Horns, I've played trumpet, saxophone, a little bit of flute. Probably missing a couple acoustic, guitar, things like that. They all kind of correlate.
And you play more the bass? That's
Yes.
your primary instrument?
Yes, definitely.
That's how I know you.
Right. That's my love for sure.
That's your love.
Yep.
And when did that love started specifically for the bass? It's like a romantic relationship that you have.
Yep. It really, I would definitely say it started probably around about freshman year. In freshman year, I had a lot of cousins and family members who were also playing. So I had my cousins, my brothers, they started to play drums. So started to kind of give them their room to grow and, find another instrument. And I've always heard bass, but just never knew where to find it. So my aunt knew someone here in the Hartford area, and he was selling a bass and ended up putting it in my hands, and that's when it connected, just like that.
You feel it in the soul.
Yes.
And I know that you like many music genres.
Yep.
Is there any specific genre that you are driven to?
Yeah, funk and R&B is what I love most. That's kind of what I listened to a lot as a kid. The Michael Jackson, early Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, Funkadelic. Some parents probably didn't want their kids listening to that stuff, early on, but that was kind of what was in my room. I had crates of records that my father had in the room just around for me to listen to.
So how would you define your style? What are your influences and what's your style?
Yeah, my style, I really like to support the band. I play in a lot of trios, quartets, so sometimes kind of small settings, and where you're really kind of there to support the actual foundation of the band and the sound. So, if I had to kind of compare myself to some of the bassists who are out there, like a Ricky Minor, he's a famous bass player for American Idol. He was actually the music director for American Idol. Whitney Houston for a very long time, Gladys Knight. He's one of the people that I've kind of modeled myself after. Yeah.
So who would you say are your biggest influences from a musical standpoint? Who those artists are? Yeah,
from artists, Marcus Miller was a really great one. He's another, multi-talented, not just a bass player, but he could be a producer, music director. As far as other people who I love, Prince is up there, Stevie Wonder. Those are really my huge influences. Some people that I really look up to are like musical geniuses.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know in college you also were in a gospel choir.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So I've had the privilege to be able to play for a lot of colleges. So I went to Central University, Central Connecticut State University in New Britain, and basically while there, my uncle was actually the choir director there. He attended there, and throughout pretty much all of his adulthood, he really gave back to that community there in Central, and he had a choir there called the Ebony Choral Ensemble. So I played there and basically ended up playing for Middletown. At Middletown, I'm the musical director of the Wesleyan Ebony Singers there. And then also many of the state colleges, Eastern, St. Joe's, U-Hart, places like that.
So you've done a lot in a very short period of time.
I'm thankful. It's an honor.
Yes. And I know that you're working on an EP.
Yes.
And you have something going on that is really good. I've had the pleasure to listen to 2 of those songs.
Thank you.
And I play them over and over and over again.
Thank you so much.
So tell us who's been collaborating with you, who are you featuring, and how this project came about.
So it's actually something that I've been working on a lot for about the last 2 to 3 years. My intentions were to grab some of the people that I've worked with live and then, integrate them into an album or EP. So I have probably collected and recorded about 8 songs. What we're going to release is probably 4 at a time. So that's hoping to be out in September of this year of 2019. The people who I've collaborated with, well, I'll go back to some of the influences. So I ended up kind of giving a tribute to some of the influences that I grew up with. So on the first EP will be Shaka Khan. It will be Michael Jackson. Another influence is kind of a mix, but it's The Weeknd, more current, but definitely because of the feel of the music, it's kind of a tribute to that 80s Nile Rodgers and people like that in the disco era. So The Weeknd is another one that's going to be on there, and Justin Timberlake. So that's going to be the first one.
You have top artists
Top
on the
artists,
list.
yeah. A lot of people you can kind of name by just their first name.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, sure. Well, I know we have a video, and we will love to show it to the audience because they need to listen to this phenomenal bass player and the people that he's collaborating with. So watch the video and enjoy.
All right now. Ooh, yeah. Everybody knows all about my direction, but in my heart somewhere, I wanna go there. Still I don't go there. Everybody say something, say something, say something, say something, say something, say something. I don't wanna get caught up in the rhythm of it, but I can't help myself. No, I can't help myself. No, no. Caught up in the middle of it, but I can't help myself. No, I can't help myself. No.
Something I can't.
Baby, I'm looking for something I can't have.
It's so engaging.
Thank you.
Tell us about this song.
Yeah, this song came out. So it came out a couple years ago, and really my intention for recording it was because there was a lot of things that were happening in politics at the time, and really, a lot of people wanted to have their voice heard during that time. So I thought it was fitting for the time that it was during like elections and things like that. So I wanted people to feel comfortable, speaking up and speaking their voice. And I think it was a good fit, came out great. It was a magical night. If you watch the video, there's things that happened in that session that weren't planned, weren't rehearsed or anything like that. It just happened, spur of the moment. So it's great.
Great. And a lot of people don't know that Lawrence is also a musical director.
Yes.
So that's your other hat.
That's kind of the other hat. Yeah, I enjoy it. Wesley and I am the music director. I've been there for 21 years, I believe, over 21 years, since about 1998. And I've met a lot of different people, a lot of people who have come through the choir. One of them, one influential person that we probably all know is Lin-Manuel from Hamilton and all the great Broadway plays and musicals. So he was actually a student in that choir early on, and basically had the opportunity to work with a lot of great musicians. It's kind of my responsibility to grab musicians to kind of suit the music, and try to deliver a great product.
Yes, and you got it.
Thank you.
Another side of you is your spirituality, how you're rooted into the way you were brought up in church.
Yep.
And I know that you collaborate with a project that is called Ray of Hope.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So Ray of Hope, what we try to do is we try to kind of mix in, we go into the school system, and it's led by Alika Hope. Her website, I believe, is rayofhope.com, but I will definitely make sure. But she is a very talented artist as well as entrepreneur. So we go into the school systems, and it's to teach school kids, and usually around grade, I would say between kindergarten and sixth grade, the influence that music has, and really kind of what we bring in, like spirituals, Negro spirituals, things like that, teach them those, and as well as current music, and kind of mix them together.
Very good. Yeah. And we have a surprise for you.
Okay.
We got a clip.
Nice. Okay. All right.
And we are now showing it to the audience so they get to know even more about all the beautiful things that Lawrence V. White does. So here a clip.
Awesome.
Study,
You definitely have many talents to you.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you
very
so much.
inspiring, Lawrence.
Thank you.
I want to have the pleasure, since we have this platform, and I don't get to do this every day.
Sure.
Can we sing a song?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This should be fun. All right.
So let's see, which song can we play?
One of my favorites, I would definitely have to say, is Sade. Sade I'm a huge fan of Sade. She can put out anything, doesn't matter. I'm listening to it. Sweetest Taboo was another good one, but No Ordinary Love.
No Ordinary Love sounds good to me.
All right, perfect. Perfect.
I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. I gave you love. I gave you all that I have inside, and you took my love. You took my love. Didn't I tell you what I believe? Somebody's saying that a love like that won't last. Didn't I give you more than I got to, baby? I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. I gave you love. I gave you all that I have inside, and you took my love. You took my love. I keep crying. I keep trying for you. There's nothing like you and I, baby. I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. I gave you love. I gave you all that I have inside, and you took my love. You took my love. I keep crying. I keep trying for you. There's nothing like you and I. I keep trying. I keep crying for you. There's nothing like you and I, baby. This is no ordinary love, no ordinary love. This is no ordinary love, no ordinary love.
here all day.
You know I love to play with you.
Love it. I love it as well.
I could also be here all night.
All night.
Well, Lawrence, what's next in your future?
Well, I would definitely say, once I'm able to drop this album, again, projected in September, what I would love to do, one of the things I've always loved to hear is good music in movies, good music in commercials, good music in, some of these Netflix series, things like that. That's the ultimate goal. A lot of bass players have already kind of laid the foundation before me. People like Stanley Clarke, he's a famous composer and works on a lot of scores, things like that. So that's the ultimate goal. This music that we're covering, hopefully people will hear it and want to put it in movies and things like that.
And I like the fact that you do your social media, you're building it up, you are expanding your connections, your network, you have more fans. Hopefully the show helps you
Thank you.
add some more fans to your list. And I wanted to ask you, are you planning on any shows, live shows that we can go and see you?
Yeah, definitely. I play often with your husband and yourself. I know we're scheduled to play. I think the next time we're scheduled is in August.
June 28th.
June 28th.
Yes.
So we have that. I know that I have some other engagements coming up as well. I know June 22nd, I'm in West Hartford, Blueback Square, with a good friend, Jamie McDonald. He has a new band, a new venture that he's putting out. A couple dates coming in July as well. Hopefully you guys will have me back here. When
we will.
Yes, once the album drops, and maybe I could bring in a couple of the band members and we can play here. That'd be great.
Sure, that's a deal.
Good.
What other plans do you have? Anything else from any other of your talents?
Yeah, that I can think of. I know that coming up soon, I know that we have some music that's going to be coming out in the summer. I actually helped produce a song with someone from Say Something, Clockwise. He's a local rapper. He reps Connecticut all the time, wears it on his back. So I produced something for him that's going to be coming out hopefully in the summertime. And then we worked on a couple other projects with him as well. I know that there's a couple artists in Connecticut that I've worked with. This guy named Scott Waters. He was another artist that I worked with. To kind of just lay that foundation for the bass, things like that. So
if anyone wants to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
My website is my full name. It's lawrencevwhite.com. And you can find me on other social media as well. Same spelling, LAWRENCE, V like the Victor, and white like the color. And Facebook is the only place that's a little bit different. It's lawrence.v.white.
Excellent. Well, there is so much to say about Lawrence V. White. We're certainly going to have him here once again next show whenever he releases his EP, and we have all his songs that we can show to you, audience. And thank you so much for participating in our program, for being part of our supporters. And you can find us in Facebook at Sea and Sun Productions. So until next time, have a great time and enjoy the journey. See you.